So you're thinking about moving to Wellesley. One of my first videos was about pros and cons of living in Wellesley, Massachusetts. And now I'm going to go into a deeper dive of what it's really like to live here. We'll be talking about real estate, things to do, schools, and the culture. I'm trying to provide a little color to things you can't find just by Googling. So let's dive in. I'm Jane. I'm a realtor here in Wellesley, Massachusetts. My channel is about what it's like to live in the Boston suburb. Make sure you subscribe if you want to stay updated as I'm releasing a video every week. And if you're thinking about moving, feel free to reach out as I would love to help you. So let's talk about the basics. Wellesley is about 15 miles west of Boston, and it's super easy and convenient to get around to both Boston on the commuter rail and to take your car and get to major routes. So it's convenient to the tech centers in Waltham. It's a short ride out to 495, which takes you out to other commercial and office developments. You will find that it's pretty busy with traffic. There's a joke about the soccer moms getting their kids across town at 3 o'clock, and it can take you over an hour to commute to Boston in the morning, despite the fact that it's only 15 miles. But we think of it as an urban suburb. So you have all the benefits of living in a suburb with that kind of dense in-town feeling in some of our neighborhoods, and then some you'll find much larger lots and a little more of a country vibe. Wellesley does have a beautiful private country club. I have heard there's a 5-year wait for membership. It has a gorgeous golf club and it has a beautiful pool. It has an excellent restaurant, and I've attended many events and functions there, but we're not members. Some of the community organizations that I have been involved with are the following. When my kids were young, I joined the Wellesley Mothers Forum. That's a social group for mothers with children up to age 8. There's a monthly meeting, and there was a big social component with gatherings, and they also helped you find a play group with kids your own age in your area. There was a working moms group. There's a special needs moms group. So there was really something for everyone. So when people are relocating to the area with young children, I always recommend that they check out the Wellesley Mothers Forum, as it's a great way to find your community. Once your kids are in elementary school, that's definitely how we identify by the neighborhood, one of the 7 neighborhood elementary schools the kids go to. So that is the base of your social life there as well. When my kids were older, I joined the Wellesley Service League, which is a service organization with a strong social component. It was super fun. I met some amazing women I wouldn't have met otherwise, and we did a lot of good volunteer work for some organizations that I hadn't even heard of before I joined the Service League. There's a sustainers group. So actually next week I'm going to a cocktail party, which is for women who were in Service League. So I'm a sustainer for that. Another really great thing about Wellesley is we have a number of garden clubs. So I did just join the Wellesley Gardeners Guild, and we're responsible for keeping flower boxes filled at some of our town buildings like the post office and the town hall. And again, shockingly, there's a big social component, and we go out, we get together, and there's a book club and all kinds of opportunities to socialize and make friends. Next month, we're actually going to go to Harvard University's Glass Flower Museum, which I have never been to. On to real estate. When people are coming from other parts of the country, one of the things they might be surprised by is that we don't have gated communities. All of our suburbs grew up out of some original colonial towns. So we didn't have a lot of open land for people. If they want to build a new house, you have to tear down an old house. And the town is pretty strict about adhering to rules to keep our New England town vibe. So there's restrictions on how large your house can be in some neighborhoods, and there's a restriction on whether you can tear down homes that are deemed historical by the town, all in an effort to keep that feeling of original Wellesley town. What you will find is everything from homes built in the 1700s, there's just a couple, but lots of Victorians. I live in a Victorian that was built in 1878, and we've had a lot of fun fixing it up. I love the charm and the character and the tall ceilings. It's drafty in the winter, even though we have good insulation. And then there's a lot of people who really just want new construction. They want that classic center entrance colonial where the kitchen family room is attached to the mudroom, which is attached to the garage. And we can offer a lot of that too. We are known for our high cost of living here, and real estate is expensive. In fact, I'm going to give you an example of a house that was right around the median price. In 2022, the median price for my zip code was 1.8 million. Whew. So I'm going to show you what you get for, or what someone was asking this weekend in February for 1.8 million. We're still in a time of very tight inventories, so if you are a home buyer, it's important to have a knowledgeable realtor help guide you through this process, as you're going to find that many homes are getting multiple offers. So here's a house that came on the market in middle of February of 2023, 14 Benvenue. Benvenue is a kind of a long street that some of it's a little bit windy and narrow, but this little block of the street is a little bit quieter. So for 1.8 million, you get 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's an in-town neighborhood, so you could definitely walk to the elementary school, you can walk to the train and to the town, but you're only getting 2,900 square feet plus a finished basement. So this is a quintessential Wellesley house. Center entrance colonial, character and charming. There's a nice view of the front and a beautiful, elegant foyer. And typically it's left to the living room, right to the dining room. Lots of built-ins, a nice workstation outside of the kitchen. And the kitchen's gorgeous. So one thing to know about this house, they are asking what I consider a premium, but they had done so many updates. So the heating system, the air conditioning, the roof, the kitchen, the baths, everything had been done over. So this really is appealing to buyers these days. They really want to move in and not have to worry about doing any updates, even cosmetic. So as of yesterday afternoon, the listing broker told me she had 3 offers in hand. So I had a buyer there yesterday afternoon and they were considering making an offer. They ended up not making an offer because they just are holding out for a little more square footage. But as you can see, it's just a lovely, elegant home. Now we're going to talk about amenities. So of course, we're going to start with shopping. There is amazing shopping in Wellesley. You don't ever have to leave town if you don't want to. If you want to go to a major mall, there's a beautiful mall in Natick and there's another beautiful mall in neighboring Newton, Chestnut Hill area. So in Wellesley, there are a ton of unique boutiques. And one of my favorites is Isabel Harvey, which is owned by these 2 delightful sisters who have all kinds of beautiful gifts and accessories. We do have some of the larger stores coming in town, like we have our own Lululemon, and now we have an Orvis. But there's lots of unique places to shop. So it is definitely a place you would come with a girlfriend from a neighboring town for an afternoon of shopping, lunch, and a cup of coffee. In regards to dining, we have a lot of options there as well. We have some larger chains like Smith & Wollensky, which is a terrific steakhouse. We went there on New Year's Eve and we had an amazing meal. There's Paparazzi, which is a big Italian place, which is a nice bar area. And we also have lots of different cuisine. We have a cabrata, we have a Boloco, which is a Spanish place. We have great Asian food. There's a Turkish restaurant right next to my office, which has wonderful lunches and dinners with really unique food. So something for everyone. We have a Sweet Green, which is this terrific salad place. It's a chain along the Northeast. And one of my daughters has worked there for the past year, and her twin, whenever she came home from college, all she wants to do is she doesn't want to go out to dinner. She wants to go to Sweet Green and get a salad. But they are not just salads. You should check those out. We do have a couple Dunkin' Donuts, but here's a fun fact. We don't have a McDonald's. I believe it was because the town didn't want to have any fast food. No McDonald's, no Burger King. So after we're going to talk about food, we should probably jump into fitness. Wellesley is a really active community. There's plenty of gyms. We have some larger gyms like a Boston Sports Club with a big pool, and it has an indoor pool plus an outdoor pool. So my husband works out there, and there's a Beacon Hill Fitness Club where I used to work out. I used to like to go to the classes. So lately we're seeing more and more of those smaller places. Like right now I'm going to Club Pilates on Linden Street. So I try to hit the 7 a.m. class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but you have a stretch place, Club Pilates, Yoga 6, Pure Bar, then there's a bar method around the corner, so a place with great yoga called Laughing Dog Yoga. So it is a very active community because all these places are pretty busy. There's a private golf course at the Wellesley Country Club, and then there's a public course right over the border in neighboring Weston, which is a great spot. And Wellesley College also has a really nice golf course, which is private in that you have to have some connection to Wellesley College to have golf privileges there. I'm on to hospital hospitals. For medical care, there is no better place to be than Greater Boston. The Newton Wellesley Hospital is on the border of Newton and Wellesley, which is a terrific hospital and affiliated with Harvard Medical School. My twins were born there. In fact, that was a busy year. I was there 3 times in a year. I had my twins by C-section, then I had in my appendix, I needed an appendectomy, and after that I had my gallbladder out. So the surgeon and I joked that I had gotten rid of all of my spare parts. So thankfully I haven't been frequenting that as much personally lately. However, it is a wonderful place with top-notch medical care. When people think of Wellesley, they think of our beautiful green spaces and lots of walking trails. We have Morse's Pond, which has a beach in the summer, and some winters you can skate there. We have a couple of college campuses which have just beautiful grounds. Wellesley College has a beautiful campus, and we used to spend, before the pandemic, we used to walk around the pond there a lot, and they have an amazing lilac garden, so it's a great place to check out the flowers in the spring. And Babson College is another beautiful school, really nice campus. We actually have another college in our town called the Mass Bay Community College, which is a great resource, which borders one of our beautiful parks, which is Centennial Park. So I'm really fortunate. I live in Wellesley Hills, right near the center of town. So we can walk to the train stop, we can walk to Cafe Nero, but we're also right down the hill from Centennial Park, which is a great place for dog walking. And we also are right near the Fullerbrook path. So frequently after work, my husband and I will walk down the path to the Whole Foods, past the high school, grab some dinner and walk home. So we are really blessed to have all these natural resources that the town has protected and preserved over the years. So one of the biggest draws to moving to Wellesley is our outstanding public school system. And here's a rundown of the schools. We have one high school, Wellesley High School, which is a beautiful building that was rebuilt in the last 10 years. We have one middle school, which is an older building that has also been updated. And then we have 7 elementary schools. And we're really lucky to have neighborhood schools. So as I mentioned earlier, kids and families really identify by their elementary school. Lots of kids walk to school or bike, and there's really active social communities within the school supporting the PTO and running community events. So the 7 elementary schools are Sprague, which is a nice newer school that my kids went to, and they had air conditioning. So not all of our public schools have central air conditioning. Another nicer, larger school is the Bates School, which is a wonderful neighborhood. And there's Fisk and Schofield, which are on the eastern end of town. And then there's 2 schools which are under transition. So Honeywell School, they tore down the old school in 2022 and are building a beautiful brand new school, which is right near the center of town behind the public library. So that is slated to be open in the fall of 2024. There is going to be a redistricting once Honeywell is open. And then the next school that's undergoing transformation is Hardy. So Hardy is one of the smaller, older schools, and they are going to build a new school behind it. And then once it's finished, I believe in 2024 or 25, you can email me if you want more info on schools. They're going to then tear down the old school and make that into parking. There is one more school I didn't mention, which is Upham, which is one of the smaller schools. And right now there are no plans to replace it. It's open this year, but I think once the 2 new schools are going to be open, they're probably going to send those kids from Upham either to Hardy or to Bates. Then we'll have 6 elementary schools. But there's a website just about schools. And again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions about that. So in conclusion, if you're thinking about Wellesley, those are the things that probably come to mind or should come to mind. I hope this video provided you with some perspective. So what did you think? Did I forget anything? Leave some notes in the comments, and remember to subscribe to stay updated, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.